We are officially 3 days through free agency, and a lot of change has happened. A lot of moves have been made, and we're here to grade each team's free agency. Of course, we're going to use tier maker. I got A, B, C, D, and, well, teams that either didn't do much or kind of focused on retaining their own guys. We're going from A to Z, which means we're going to start with the Arizona Cardinals, who I kind of like a little bit of what they've done. I think currently they're around $40 million in cap space available. So if they want to go out and get a tackle, that's kind of wondering, what are you going to do about that right tackle spot? Do you bring back Jonah Williams, or maybe do you, bring in Jawan Taylor, or do you maybe try to get a Rasheed Walker and tell him to kick out to right tackle, or are you just going to draft one? To me, I think they're probably going to go and find some tackle via free agency, just because you look at the edge market and it's kind of dried up pretty quickly. But as far as what they've done, Kyler Murray officially released. Cool, he's probably going to Minnesota. They bring in Gardner Minshew. He's going to be the backup. They're most likely are going to get their franchise quarterback, I'm assuming, in 2027. They could still be a Ty Simpson place, but I don't know. It doesn't feel that way. But I like the addition of Tyler Algier there with James Conner, who they restructure, and then Isaac Samalu is going to come in, play one of those guard spots. That's an immediate improvement to the offensive line. Roy Lopez, welcome back. Welcome back. Kind of a moderate addition there. And Andrew Wingard is kind of it's a 1-year deal, whatever. Kind of a downgrade from Jalen Thompson. But at the end of the day, I don't think they did all that much. I'm going to put them in the C category for now. It was again, they still got plenty of money to play with. If they want to go out and do something, we'll see if they do something. Let's move on. We got the Atlanta Falcons, who acquired Azeez Ojulari today. They signed Azeez Ojulari. They currently, what's their cap space at? So it says it's around 20 million right now. I don't know how updated that actually is, but you don't know what's really going to happen with James Pierce. I think grabbing Azeez Ojulari is a good move, especially when you don't have a first-round pick. You can't exactly address that. They also, it's not listed here, but they brought in Corey Levin, who can maybe compete at center. He's probably, for the most part, a backup center, but I thought that low-key was a pretty solid addition. They signed Tua Tagovailoa, who's going to essentially be the starter. Maybe he competes for that starting position with Michael Penix, who's coming off the ACL injury. I think it was the ACL, but I mean, all in all, I thought Jahan Dotson was a bit of an overpay for a wide receiver 3, essentially. He's going to be treated, I think, for the most part, like a wide receiver 2 in this offense. But yeah, I don't know. It's so hard. I want to say it's so hard to grade this, but I guess it's not really. I didn't love what they did here. They don't have it listed, but Christian Harris is going to come in and be a backup at linebacker. I guess that's good depth. At the end of the day, I guess it's kind of a D. I'm going to put it right behind the Cardinals as a C, because it doesn't feel negligible. That's probably, yeah, it doesn't feel negligible. It's not sexy, but I don't think it's bad. Baltimore Ravens, hey, they're the new bad boys on the block, the bad kids on the block. As far as the whole Max Crosby situation, I'm not really going to weigh in on that because, well, it's really he say, she say type of things. It's we won't truly know the full story until they make a documentary about it, I suppose. But a lot of shady things. Let's just talk about what they did do. For one, they preserved a first-round pick this year and in 2027. But they bring in Jalen Hawkins, who's going to replace Alohi Gilman. That's either a lateral move or maybe slightly less. You know what you got in Gilman. Hawkins is coming off a contract, a breakout year, essentially. So even if it's just a minor downgrade, I think that's fine. Trey Hendrickson, they're giving him a lot of money. I haven't looked exactly how that's structured. Probably ends up being a 3-year deal in all honesty. I know that there's a lot of incentives when it comes to his sack total and whatnot, but yeah, I suppose I'm okay with this. It kind of depends on what medically is he good? Is he okay to go? I know we were just talking about like Max Crosby and he failed the physical, knee no good or whatever. But Hendrickson, if you remember, he was beat up this year. I think large part of the season, it said it was a hip. I think he had core surgery at some point during the year. He's older than Crosby. At the end of the day, they needed pass rush. If he could get back to what he was in 2024, it's a great move. It's well worth the money. If I'm being honest, I love the John Simpson move the best. I think that's a quality move. I really, really do. But for the Ravens, currently, what are they looking in cap space? It says they got a lot of cap, like $50 million. Because I know they did a Lamar restructure. Did they have any other moves that aren't listed here? Durham Smythe. Okay, whatever. But it's a good. I like the Trey Hendrickson move. You needed to get better at pass rush. I don't know. Is it enough to put him in? I'm gonna put him in B for now, but I might drop him to C. All right, we got the Buffalo Bills, Buffalo Bills took Dolphins legend Bradley Chubb, paid him a honestly pretty good deal if he's going to come out and look like what he did last year. I think the D. Alford move is a upgrade from what they got in Teron Johnson last year. You're going to feel one of two ways with DJ Moore. Can he rekindle what he did in 2023? Or is he the guy we've seen the last 2 seasons? Because if that's the case, then, well, the second round pick is kind of feels gross. Taking on his contract kind of feels not great. So, yeah, there's going to be a couple of minds to that. But I would say they kind of achieved what they wanted to do here. Seemingly, you probably got better in the slot. You're getting Josh Allen some weapons, and you got someone legit across from Gregory Rousseau. So I'm gonna put it right ahead of Baltimore for now. It's kind of a middle B, low end B. We'll see. I mean, again, I'm one of two minds with the DJ Moore move. It was a move, essentially. You had to do something at wide receiver. I'm just glad they weren't stagnant or just like, well, whatever. We'll just draft another.
We love the NFL draft, and now my draft guide is available for purchase. It comes with over 500 player backgrounds and close to 300 player evals. It updates throughout the whole draft cycle. So when I add a new eval or I change my rankings, you're going to be the first to know. It's going to have all the pro day and combine numbers along with analytics. And it's a Google spreadsheet for right now. So you have to include your email with the purchase, but we will be switching over to a website at the end of the year. And if you get it now, it's going to be cheaper now than it will be later. It's a great way to support the channel. And as always, much appreciated, much obliged.
Carolina Panthers. Golly, they were busy boys this year. They were like, nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to beat us to the punch when it comes to going out and getting our guy. And they went out, they got Jaelan Phillips. Yeah, the contract's big. It's huge for a guy that has had durability issues over his career, or at least injury concerns. But last season, we know what he is when he's on the field and how good he is. This is a team that had probably one of the worst pass rushes in the league. I appreciate that they took care of that. This was also a team that had one of the worst linebacking rooms in the NFL. Devin Lloyd coming off a breakout season in a contract year, but still, and honestly, $15 million per year isn't a bad cost for that. So I like that they looked at their 2 weakest spots on the defense and were like, we're going to take care of these. John Mechie, I think that's a solid pickup in that wide receiver room. Does he end up pushing to be kind of that wide receiver 3 here? Because your top 2 dogs are probably, not probably, but it's McMillan, it's Coker, and then, golly, I love Xavier Legette, but he just doesn't seem like the guy. So Mechie coming in to compete, I like that on a 1-year deal. I love Luke Fortner on a 1-year deal. You lose Cade Mays, but Fortner was fantastic last year when he stepped up for Eric McCoy. If you just get more of what he was last year, big positive. Honestly, the only thing I'm not loving is they haven't really gone out and got a tackle. But hey, Taylor Decker's still out there. Rasheed Walker's still out there. I'm willing to wait and be patient. Currently, their cap situation, they have $30 million to play with. If over the cap and spot rack are correct, then go get a tackle, please. And then, maybe a tight end, because Dallas Goedert, he'll be a free agent as of Friday. David Njoku's still out there. There are moves still to be made. So, weirdly enough, while it feels like, yes, it doesn't feel like it at this moment, Jaelan Phillips is an overpay, I don't mind it. I'm going to put them at the high end of A. We'll circle back and maybe they go to a, or high end of B. Maybe we circle back and they go to A. Let's move on. We got the Chicago Bears, who made some moves today. So I like that they didn't. I like that they brought back Braxton Jones 1 year, $5 million. I think there's incentives in there to make it $10 million. I have to go back and look. But at first I thought I saw 1 year, $10 million. Yeah, Trapillo, he's going to probably miss a large part, if not the whole season. So bringing back someone you're familiar with, that's cool. Jedrick Wills is literally just kind of a shot in the dark. He spent all last year focusing on recovering. He's a former first-round pick. I like that they brought him into the, essentially, I think this could be a competition at left tackle. Outside of that, there were a couple of depth moves. Khalif Raymond, I think, is going to kind of be the wide receiver 3 there. Return man. Devil Gallimore is kind of, to me, a nothing move. But Devin Bush, I think, at the very least, is a lateral, if not potential upgrade from Emmons. Coby Bryant, potential lateral, if not upgrade from Brisker. Again, we could talk that. Brisker still on the market as of right now. I don't like them transferring Aaron Bradbury. I thought there were better centers in free agency that went at better prices. I guess it kind of is what it is, but I don't love that. Outside of that, I think they've done a relatively solid job. I'm just checking right now if any other free agents have gotten signed. Many who is the last sign-in I currently have. So just giving y'all an update. I will check that. Oh my gosh. Okay. I will check that throughout the video. Sorry. Stinking lip is numb. Gaga ball. It's a man's game. Got hit in the face and broke half my face. It was great. But at the end of the day, I think this they made solid moves. I don't think it's A-worthy, but I think I would probably put that in B. Is it ahead of the Panthers? Probably not. I'd put it right here for now. Then we got the Cincinnati Bengals. Woof, 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 woof. Cool, they re-signed Dalton Reisner. Depth, potential starter is what it is. Boye Mafe, they go out and get a stupidly athletic edge player. It's right up their alley when it comes to relative athletic score. Does that mean they're going to have more pass rush? It'd feel better if we knew if it would feel better if there was more confidence in Shamar Stewart. They grabbed Brian Cook. That's a good pickup. I thought that was a good contract, but they've just not done anything. This is so lackluster. It's a little depressing if I'm being honest. Looking at their current cap situation, they got 24-ish million available to them. So go make more moves on the defense. Maybe they could tempt a Bobby Wagner, which even that still doesn't necessarily feel great, but it's not bad. It's a leader to the defense. You got two guys at linebacker coming off their rookie year. So getting some mentorship there would be clutch. At the end of the day, I just don't love this. I don't hate it. I think the pickups are fine enough, but am I really going to put it here? Yeah. I'm going to put it here. I think this is definitely the free agency I like the least of the ones we've gone over right now. I don't think it's D-worthy because I don't think they did anything detrimental. We got the Cleveland Browns, who I'm coming around to this, man. I really am. They bring in Tevin Jenkins. They bring him back. Is he going to be a starter? He wasn't a starter last year. I'm still questioning what Jenkins' role is going to be here. I like the Jenkins pickup. I would have liked it better at guard. Center, I thought was a bit iffy last year, but I think that's still a good improvement. Zion Johnson, I don't love the contract. People are like, well, look how much we're not paying him in the first 2 years. And it's like, yeah. And then if you realize, okay, he's not our cup of tea, you release him after year 2, you're still on the hook for dead cap, $10 million the next 2 years, because there's a void year in there. It's not a good contract. Quincy Williams, coming off a down year, still being able to get that's like $8.5 million-ish. You lost Evan Bush. I think at the very least, this is a lateral move, so I don't mind it. But I like that they went out. Titus Howard's going to play one of those tackle spots. Got let's say that these are their 5 starters with probably they're going to draft a tackle in the first round. I don't mind it. I think it's solid. Am I hopeful? I feel like Titus Howard's the only one I'm feeling really hopeful for. Jenkins, if he can, I guess it kind of just depends on what they're going to ask him to do. It'll be fascinating. It'll be interesting. I'm going to give it, I think it's better than a C. I'd put it at the back end of B for now. All right, we got the Dallas Cowboys, who traded Osa Odighizuwa, trying to make cap space. They're currently just about $300,000 over the cap. So they're clearing space. They're trying their darndest. But they get a 3rd rounder. They have a day 2 pick now. That's awesome. It's phenomenal. They bring in Sam Howell. He's going to be the backup. What does that mean about Joe Milton? PJ Locke. He is going to be, I think, a good depth play, because I think they're probably, I don't even know if they're going to draft a safety at this point, because they restructured Malik Hooker. They bring in Jalen Thompson. They have PJ Locke there. Who else is there at safety? Stewart's more of a slot guy. I don't know, but Rashawn Gary, he's going to come in, and I think he should, in theory, help out. I don't know if you're going to get. It just feels like we haven't seen the Rashawn Gary that was like the guy, borderline elite, in like 4 years, right? So even if it's like, okay, solid production, that should be able to work with like Donovan Azaraku. We're very confident in. They got some. They bring back Sam Williams. They got other parts on that line. They restructured Kenny Clark. So, I mean, they did stuff. They were able to retain George Pickens for a year. Will they get a long-term deal out of it? We'll find out. Javonte Williams, I thought they brought him back on in my opinion, a very team-friendly deal. So I don't mind what they've done. I think they've made good moves. Yeah, I'm sold on that. I think they have made good moves, and they've positioned themselves to go into the draft with not a lot of holes, or at least not serious holes on this roster. Yeah, you wish they could get a linebacker. There's still some linebackers out there. I imagine they're going to take a shot on one of the linebackers early in this draft, whether that be at pick. Maybe they make a move up the board. I don't know. Sonny Styles, where people are projected him. I don't know if they can move up to actually go get him, but Maybe a CJ Allen at the back end of the first round. Maybe you trade back and you acquire more draft capital, and maybe you get a Gold Day from Cincy or a Rodriguez from Texas Tech. That would be awesome. We'll see. We'll find out. At the end of the day, I think I think they've done fine. I'd put it right. Yeah, I'd put it a spot ahead of Cleveland as of now. I'm very generous, as you can tell. We got the Denver Broncos. Listen, Denver Broncos, they're a team that has just been trying to keep their parts together. That's essentially what it's been, what they've been doing. I think they made their first actual external acquisition today. Did they? No, maybe they didn't. Maybe that was the Jags, actually. So, yeah, honestly, the big hit they're taking is, they released Dre Greenlaw. That seemed apparent after they re-signed Stranad and Singleton. They bring back J.K. Dobbins, which, hey, he was good for him. It's going to cost him a little bit, but that's fine. But John Franklin Myers is the big hit. Honestly, I think the Broncos have done a good job of just kind of keeping the status quo. We were a good team last year. We think we're going to draft well and remain to be a good team. So, yeah, I'm going to keep them in this category, but I think they've done an all right job. Yeah, do you wish that they maybe went out and got an actual free agent? Sure. Listen, there's still a lot of guys out there in free agency. I'm sure they could acquire pieces that will help. Detroit Lions. Ugh, man, I kind of dig what they've done thus far. Still need to figure out what's going on at left tackle. Maybe that's something they do in the draft. I love the Cade Mays pickup. I really do. And they got him at such a good price. I'm down with what Detroit's been doing. Bringing in Isaiah Pacheco, which, yeah, he's not David Montgomery, but he fits that style, hard-nosed runner that's going to be able to complement Gibbs. Outside of that, I don't think they've done Larry Borum, he comes in to be a backup. I don't think he's going to start. He shouldn't start, but you never know. Maybe he does. I think the Lions have done a good job. Sure, they need to figure out the whole Taylor Decker thing, who's going to replace him. I don't think Borum's that answer, but I think these are good contracts. I really, really do. So I'm going to put them right behind the Bears, I think. Yeah. The Bears done a little bit more. I'm going to put them right there. Green Bay Packers, they got lively today. They bring in Javon Hargrave, which, hey, I think that's solid. Old head, but it's going to kind of do his thing. They were able to get a fourth rounder in the Rashawn Gary trade after seemingly they were just going to release him. They released Nate Hobbs. That's kind of sad, but is what it is. They bring in Benjamin St. Jude. That's kind of no biggie. Sean Ryan, kind of, after he got extended, you kind of figured, okay, Jenkins is probably the next piece to go there. They haven't really done much, I think, in my opinion, to be a better team. I like the Hargrave sign-in. But outside of that, I don't think they've really done much at all. Probably their best move is getting a fourth-round pick for a guy that they were just going to release. Am I going to put him here? I'm going to put him here. I'm going to put him in D. Because I can't really put them in doing nothing and keeping their guys because they aren't really keeping their guys. They also bring in Sky Moore. Let's go. Let me make sure they just didn't have any other moves I'm unaware of. Nope, Sky Moore. Okay. Houston Texans. I dig Houston and what they've kind of done. At first, I was a little hesitant. Kind of figured they had to bring back Ed Ingram. Cool. Reed Blankenship felt like a good pickup because you got Pittry playing in the slot. So getting someone next to Bullock there makes sense. Bring back Trent Brown. I was like, okay, I guess he's going to be your right tackle. But then they go out and get Braden Smith, who quite frankly could end up playing guard for him. I love that versatility. I really do. So we could have him at guard. You got Ingram, who's kind of broke out last year. He's playing guard.
You're going to have Trent Brown. I keep saying Trent Williams. You wish. And then Ursary, you're hoping takes that next step. And yeah, those feel like good moves. Bring back Rankins. I thought was a solid move. Logan Hall. At first I was like, he was kind of okay last year. It was better than what he'd been years prior, but it's like a 2-year, like $7 million contract on a young player. Let's go. David Montgomery, you paid a little extra for him. That's fine. Golly, he's going to get so many red zone touchdowns. I hope you're a fantasy owner, at least in Dynasty. I kind of dig what they've been doing. This might sound weird. I'm going to give it an A. I'm kind of down with how they've taken care of free agency. They were able to get a little something in the Titus Howard trade. Let me just pull up specifically what they did acquire. It was a 5th rounder. Okay, cool. Wait, no. Yeah. 5th rounder. Solid and clear some space. Currently, where are the Texans in cap space? I feel like I'm literally just missed. There they are. About 27 million in cap space. Beautiful. I just like their offseason. Indianapolis Colts. Let's have some conversations. Just quick ones. Arden Key, Michael Clemens. Those are kind of, to me, like, okay. Hopefully one of them works. Fine. I'd rather if they took a shot at like a Trey Hendrickson, who, if you didn't know, is familiar with Coach Lou. They did not. It is what it is. Maybe it was outside of their price range because they were going to get a deal done with Daniel Jones. It's a 2-year, $88 million deal. Depending on how it's structured, it might be a 1 year where they could just eat dead cap if it all goes to hell. But he's coming off the Achilles. It feels like a lot of money, but kind of felt like maybe a move that they had to do because is Steichen in the Tua situation where it felt like the Dolphins and Mike McDaniel, gun to their head, had to pay Tua, and it just ends up blowing up in their face? Was that what happened here with Daniel Jones? Because he's coming off a serious injury, and he started the year hot, and then it started to middle out. I don't know. To me, there's questions there. Alec Pierce, I thought was an overpay. I'm just gonna say that. 4 years, $116 million. Is he gonna pop off? Hopefully. I mean, they move Michael Pittman for nothing, by the way, just a pick swap. And I get it. Yeah, his contract sucks. Like, his cap hit was going to suck. But the Steelers were like, pick swap? Sure. We'll go ahead and restructure. We'll go ahead and extend. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what the Colts been doing. It's not been great. I don't like what they've done. I'm actually going to... Yeah, I'm going to put it here. Do you feel like they've gotten better? No, I don't. In what way did they get better? Is there a move that I'm missing here? I don't think there is. There's not. They lose Nick Cross. They lose Kwity Paye. And you could be like, okay, well, those are pieces they don't really matter that much. It's like, okay, well, what have you replaced them with? Because golly, the secondary needs some help still. And then Braden Smith, they've kind of already had a plan for on the offensive line. That's fine. Michael Pittman just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Jacksonville Jaguars, they've just been retaining guys. They made their first acquisition today of Chris Rodriguez. He's going to probably come in and split time with Bashal Tuden. Cool. That ought to be fun. I thought them getting Brown back was huge. Sucks that they lose Etienne. Sucks that they lose Devin Lloyd. But if I'm going to make a case, at least those are positions of less value or not premium positions that they lost really good players from. It could be worse. At the end of the day, they were always going to go down here with the Broncos. They're just kind of focused on retaining guys. On to the Kansas City Chiefs. I've come around to, I like what the Chiefs are doing. Picking up Kenneth Walker. Sure, they got to figure out the right tackle position. Apparently, they are the first ones on the phone if Trent Williams becomes available. We'll see how that goes. Currently, they've made room. They're currently $21 million under the cap, so they got space if they want to go do something. I thought Tonga was a little bit of an overpay for a big, meaty run stuffer. But that's fine. It's better than Noddy. Alohi Gilman, some would argue, is a downgrade from Brian Cook. I don't think it's that much of a downgrade. Gilman's a good player. It might be more of a lateral move than you expect under Spags. But I love the Kenneth Walker pickup. I think it's just, instead of drafting a running back in the first round, it's better to sign these guys who have already proven, hey, these are top end backs in the league, because then you could just mess around with the money and kick that can down the road while you just enjoy a great run game, especially if you have the offensive line that could facilitate it. So, holy smokes, I think I'm going to give them an A. I really do. And I don't even like the Tonga contract. I don't hate it. I just don't like it. I think I'm going to put them right here. Let me check real quick. Yeah. I'm going to put them right here. Right here. Yeah. I'm going to keep it there. Let's move on. Las Vegas Raiders. They made some moves. They were the unfortunate victim of the whole Max Crosby thing, but it kind of is what it is. It's whatever. I don't know if they move Max Crosby at this point or if he sticks around. Even if he sticks around, that's fine. They bring back Malcolm Kuntz on a 1-year deal. Kwity Paye is going to be a good run stuffer for him. How much does he actually do as a pass rusher? I don't know. We'll see, but if Crosby's still going to be around, then that's kind of cool. I love Tyler Linderbaum. The contract's a bit much, but especially for a guy that his pass pro, it's not the best in the league, but I think it's fine. It's really what he does as a run blocker, one of the best run blocking centers in the league. Which, good. You spent the sixth overall pick on Ashton Genty. Your offensive line better get good, and it better get good in a hurry. I like the Nakobe Dean pickup. Quay Walker one, I could have done without. It is what it is. Jalen Naylor, I thought was a bit of an overpay. Some people disagree, and I think that's fine. But I guess that's the going rate for a wide receiver 3, about $13 million. I don't love it. They trade for Teron Johnson, who I bashed earlier in this video. Not really. I just think that D. Alford's a better player in the slot. Whatever the Raiders had in the slot last year between like Darnay Holmes and such, Johnson is an immense upgrade. He just is. They trade Geno Smith, so cool. I'm not saying this team was radically transformed, but in parts they were. They're preparing for the draft. And dude, if they could have kept that Max Crosby thing going, having those firsts are clutch. But I like what they've done this offseason. I think I might not love all the contracts. Again, Kwity Paye, a little bit of an overpay to me, but kind of is what it is. Quay Walker, bit of an overpay to me, but hey, they got Nakobe Dean. I think that's a solid contract. I like bringing back Malcolm Kuntz. I like the player Jalen Naylor is, especially if you're kind of betting on him being better moving forward. Linderbaum's a great player. So I'm going to put the Raiders right behind the Texans. Right behind the Texans. I'm sorry. I think I kind of really like what the Texans did. All right. We got the Los Angeles Chargers. They started making some moves today. Let's go. They gave out the single highest blocking tight end contracts in history, apparently, because that's a thing. That's a thing. Yeah. Strictly Charlie Collier. Strictly only a blocking tight end. Forget about some of the things he did as a tight end 3 there for the Ravens, or even anything he did at Iowa State, where it was like, oh, this guy, he's got some route running chops. He's got some good ball skills. Nope, he's just a blocking tight end. He's not just a blocking tight end. Come on, guys. Tyler Biadasz, that's to me, that's an upgrade at center from Bozeman. What are we doing at guard? Is Pipkins going to play guard? Cole Strange? Yuck, Euf, Dolphin great. Cole Strange. I don't know. This offseason kind of feels icky. Given what, like, the cap space they have, what are we doing? The question is nothing good. So, yeah, this is kind of a big disappointment. I'm going to put the Chargers down here, because I think it's a bit detrimental what they're doing. Was the Packers really? Yeah. Feeling bad for the Packers. I'm going to move them up a spot. But yeah, Chargers, what are we doing here? Rams, I love it. This is an easy A for me. We don't have to spend long on this sucker. They looked at the Chiefs' corners, top 2 corners, and were like, we would like that. And they went out and got it. Jalen Watson's very underrated. Trent McDuffie is a top 10 corner in the league. I love Trent McDuffie. Loved him coming out of Washington. Able to bring back Cam Curl, I think it was a huge move. They're not losing anything. Darius Williams retired. Cool. You had a good career. Solid. But you replaced that. Rob Havenstein, he retired. McClellan's been good for them. He'll be a free agent next year. Dude, easy A, man. I love what they've done. I'm going to put them right. I mean, that's not fair. They didn't have a lot of holes to fill. I don't think they've signed any bad contracts, though. So they're an A. I'm going to put them right there. My Miami Dolphins. Fins up, baby. Fins up. We signed Malik Willis. Apparently, we we have these post-June 1st cuts, we're not in a great cap situation. I mean, we're still able to maneuver it, and things will look different once June 1st comes around, but it's not great. We've literally picked this team apart and have done nothing to make it better. I think the Malik Willis contract's good. It's a good contract. I'm glad we made it. Why are we cutting Tua and eating $99 million in dead cap the next 2 years? Yeah, you know what? No, I'm bringing the Colts back up there. I'm gonna put the Dolphins right behind the Colts. We just haven't done anything. Of value. Or Uchi's fine, but he's a pass rush only, a DPR. And then what? We've signed special teamers. If you're gonna tell me Daryl Baker is gonna start games at corner for us, then I'm gonna go find a curb, bite on it, and wait for someone to kick my head in. Don't tell me that. All right. Minnesota Vikings. Golly, a whole lot of nothing. They restructured Aaron Jones's contract. Their biggest move is probably James Pierre. It's about to be Kyler Murray. Let's be honest. It's about to be Kyler Murray. Until that happens, this is a big nothing off season. They also we're waiting to hear word from Harrison Smith. Is he gonna want to play another year? If so, Vikings are open to talking to him about that. I'm gonna put them at the low end just because we're anticipating the Kyler Murray move, and I don't even know if that's enough to bump them at C. Like, I don't feel like they've gotten better this offseason. I guess we'll see. No. I'm going to keep them there. Don't talk yourself out of it. New England Patriots were active today and yesterday. I love the Elijah Vera Tucker sign-in, and then how the contract works with, you pay or you play, you get paid. Romeo Dobbs, I think he's when healthy, because remember, concussions kind of messed with his career. He's a solid, like, mid-level, maybe low-end wide receiver 2 in the league. He's solid. He's good. Draymond Jones, whatever, kind of is what it is. I felt like he could have just brought back Cleavon Chason and been okay with that. Kevin Byard, I don't mind it. They go out and get a ball hawk. That's cool. That's fun. At the end of the day, did they do much to get better? I don't really think so. Didn't outside of actually Elijah Vera Tucker. Okay, yeah, that's not downplay. These moves I do think make them better. Romeo Dobbs. Is he an upgrade from Diggs? Probably not. Elijah Vera Tucker is definite upgrade on the offensive line. Kevin Byard is at the very least a lateral move over Jalen Hawkins. Kind of depends on, I guess, what the rest of Jalen Hawkins' career looks like. Maybe it was just a breakout season and a contract year, and then he goes back to being very mediocre. But I'm gonna put him down here. Yeah, no, I like their moves better than the Cardinals. I don't think it's enough to get them to B for me. Then the New Orleans Saints. Full disclosure, I love the New Orleans Saints. How they did this free agency. They bring in Noah Fant, which, okay, cool. You're gonna have him and Juwan Jennings is gonna be playing a lot in the slot like he did last year. Kaden Ellis is a good move at linebacker after losing Demario Davis, but the combination of David Edwards and Travis Etienne, I think, is money. You're telling me Travis Etienne now is not gonna have to play in the slop that is Jacksonville. He's gonna play in a dome 9 games out of the year, because keep in mind they travel to Atlanta. That's another dome. That's amazing. That's awesome. Their offensive line, in my opinion, is officially complete. So yeah, they have the offensive line to facilitate a well-paid running back. And again, with it being a 4-year contract, they can move this money. And the Saints, they love to move money. I think this is a big plus. I thought it was a big win. Aside from getting some edge help, I think they've done a great job in free agency. I'm gonna give it. Oh man, yeah. I think I like what the Saints did a little bit better than the Texans. So I'm gonna put them at the top here. Maybe that's just me being crazy. I don't know. You might be like, well, they didn't really do wide receiver either. Blah blah blah. And it's like you could probably do that in the draft and be a-okay. Maybe go get Tyler Shuck's running mate Chris Bell in the 2nd round. Do it. New York Giants. They've made a lot of moves, brought in a lot of former Ravens and Isaiah Likely and Ardarius Washington, which low-key is a fun pickup. Patrick Ricard, Jordan Stout. They bring back Evan Neal and Micah McFadden. They sign Tremaine Edmonds, which I don't think it's going to be an upgrade over Okereke. Might be a lateral move. Bringing back Jalen Illuminor is nice. Greg Newsome, it's kind of a 1-year prove-it deal. You kind of sucked in Jacksonville when they kicked you outside. Are you really just a slot? Because it kind of feels like we have a few guys that are really good slots on our team right now. I mean, I think did they get better? This is the fun question. Did they get better? Isaiah Likely is better than Bellinger. Cordell Flott's better than Newsome. Again, it kind of depends what they're going to use Newsome for. Do they kick Andrew Phillips outside? I don't think they got better. This is awkward. I don't think they got better. I don't think they got worse. I don't know. I think I might put them at low end to C. Like, what's their money move? What's their big money move? I guess it's retaining Illuminor. I don't know if they belong in C. But at least they've made moves. Okay, you know what? I'm going to keep them at the back end of C. New York Jets. This feels like a jigsaw puzzle. It feels like someone's thrown a bunch of puzzle pieces onto the table, and now you have blindfolded yourself, and you're going to figure out how these pieces go together just based on feel. Because I think they've spent a lot of money, because Aaron Glenn's like, hey, I don't want to get fired. Can we bring some guys in here? I like the Geno Smith trade. It basically says, we're going to try to be competitive next year. I think that's fine. Mika Fitzpatrick was a good trade. I think he's still got some good ball left in him. They bring in Dane Belton on a 1 year, but Malachi Moore is going to be the guy starting next to Fitzpatrick. Like, they addressed every level of the defense, and I kind of dig that. Demario Davis is a great move. I like that move. You kind of throwing crap at a wall with Joseph Osai and Kingsley Nagbari, and you're kind of seeing, okay, who can stick as our next pass rusher next to McDonald. But I mean, they trade for T'Vondre Sweat and they bring in David Onyemata. Like those are moves that should work out. They bring in Nashawn Wright on a 1 year deal. Be like, hey, was last year a fluke? If not, then cool. We're probably going to be paying you next offseason. Dylan Parham, I like that he's going to get another shot, and you only really had that other guard spot to fill in. So, yes, they improved, at least on paper. I don't know how much I buy it right now, but I think they've improved. I think this is an A-worthy. I'm going to put it at the back end. Because I don't know if they're going to turn it around, but I will say this. What they've done is now they could go into the draft and truly just draft the best players on their board, wherever they may be. Because you look at the roster and I don't think there's a lot of holes. Some would be like, well, we could definitely upgrade. Yeah, that's fine. You can upgrade, but you don't have holes, so to speak. Philadelphia Eagles. Rick Woolen. That's a good deal. Did they bring back Grant Calcaterra? I mean, granted, with what they've lost in Jaelan Phillips, Reed Blankenship, Nakobe Dean, can't really say they got better. Rick Woolen's a good move, but it's a 1 year move. I don't know, man. I'm kind of want to put him here. I don't think they did anything detrimental, though. That's not fair. I'm going to put him at the back end of C. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's okay. Yeah. Woolen might end up being a really good pickup. Pittsburgh Steelers. I love what the Steelers have done. I love it. For one, it's not even listed up here. Brock Hoffman is going to be. I like that. He's going to. I think there's a chance he probably is the starting guard next to Mason McCormick. Rico Dowdle at that price is a good pickup for your backfield. Michael Pittman trade was phenomenal. Jameel Dean pickup was great. And people were mad because I was talking about, I think Jameel Dean's maybe a better corner than Joey Porter Jr. And that wasn't to say Joey Porter Jr. is a bad corner. That's just talking about how great I feel about Jameel Dean. To be fair, Joey Porter Jr., hell of a player, really is. I'm just trying to pump up my boy Jameel Dean. They bring back Asante Samuel. It feels like they're one Aaron Rodgers move away from being like, yeah, maybe we can actually do something next year. It's one of my favorite off seasons. I'm going to put it right behind the Rams. San Francisco 49ers. They acquire Osa Odighizuwa for a third rounder. I've mocked defensive interior to them, whether it be the first or the second round a few times. So that in itself makes sense. Mike Evans. Ooh, variety is the spice of life, and they got variety, man. If they could bring back Juwan Jennings, if they could figure out what's going on with Trent Williams, or what are they going to do with Trent Williams, that would be huge. That would be clutch. Here, let me before I just keep rambling on about potential Trent Williams trade, let's make sure. Okay, no moves have happened as of yet. Perfect. They bring in Verdin Lowe. He's an low-end backup, in my opinion, and they're paying him $6 million a year. I don't love that. Especially if he ends up being a starter for him, then they're in real big trouble. But I really like the Osa Odighizuwa move. I think that's a good move. Mike Evans is a fun move. Maybe you can bring back Juwan Jennings, who is yet to sign anywhere. Maybe his asking price was a bit too much. Currently going to the X to see if... Uh-oh. All right, so apparently Bears and Bengals are in a bidding war for Max Crosby, potentially. You never truly know with this information until it actually happens. All right, let's see. Yeah, I don't see anything else going on here. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, like straight up, I would probably say that the Niners have kind of been uneventful. I get it. The Mike Evans move is flashy. The Osa Odigizua move, it's flashy. It's fun. Did they really do anything to become better? I don't think so, but they really haven't lost much. They haven't lost anything at all. Brandon Ayuk didn't play last year for him anyway. So I don't know. I think I'm going to put him in the status quo for now. I mean, cool. Well, no, they did get better than in theory. I'm going to put him at the back end of B then. Which makes me want to put New England at B2. No, maybe this. I'll keep it like this for now. If I get yelled at the comments, I get yelled at the comments. All right. Seattle Seahawks, they've kind of focused on keeping their guys in-house that they can that they want to, or at least that they're willing to pay for. They've let the likes of Kenneth Walker walk. Ha 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 he he. What will they do at running back? I guess we'll find out. Maybe they make a move for Jeremiah Love. I don't know about that, but I don't know. Maybe they make a move sometime during free agency. Coby Bryant. He's probably the next top player heading out. Boye Mafe. I feel like they could just develop another athletic freak at pass rush. Tyreek Woolen. There's some ups and downs. Like, yeah, I wish the Seahawks did something. Currently sitting with $40 million in cap space. I don't have them down for acquisitions. And they haven't really been focusing on keeping their guys. So at least that's not fair. They bring back Rashid Walker. They bring back Josh Jones, Drake Thomas. Yeah, I'm gonna put him at the front part of D. Yeah, because they lost much, but I felt like they could have probably re-signed to Coby Bryant if they wanted to. Then again, they have guys on the roster that they like. I just really wish they brought in something. Let's see. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. I don't like what they've done in free agency. Their best move might be Ashawn Robinson. Like Kenneth Gainwell, I just don't get that move. I mean, I guess this would be more like what the Rams have in Kyron Williams and Blake Corum, I suppose, to a degree, but not really. Alex Anzalone is a fine move, average linebacker, but dude, their pass rush is still stinky. Bring back Cade Otton is fine, but unsexy. I don't know, man. I'm down on it. I'm gonna put it down here. I don't love it. Tennessee Titans, they have made a heck of a lot of moves. I like what they've done defensively. I really do. Alontae Taylor, Cordero Flott. They also bring in Joshua Williams. Radically transform in that cornerback room. They trade for Jeremiah Jermaine Johnson, excuse me. They bring in John Franklin Myers. That's super fun. They bring in via trade. It was I think a pick swap, swap in 7th rounders for Solomon Thomas. They bring in Jordan Elliott, who both those guys, Robert Saleh, really familiar with. So it definitely feels like they've radically changed this defense. Offensively, like Schlotman, is he gonna be your starting center? That's underwhelming, but could end up working out. Cordell, what is it? Didn't they bring in Cordell Volson? I have almost no doubt that that's gonna fix anything at guard. It just kind of feels like they're gonna make the move for Jeremiah Love. I mean, they could still go with an edge. I don't think that's out of the question. The Wan'Dale Robinson move, I think, is going to be pretty underrated, but good. I still don't think that they have an alpha there. Maybe it's sure like, hey, Calvin Ridley, can you come back and be the guy for us? But I love what they did on defense. I'm going to put them in the A. I think I'll probably have it just ahead of the Raiders. Yeah, I have it just ahead of the Raiders. And then last but not least, the Washington Commanders. They got busy today as we close out this hour-long video. But yeah, they were busy today. You had Odafe Oweh was their first big move. That was yesterday or the day before. That may have been Monday. But they eventually pair that up with Clavon Chason. They also bring in Charles Omenihu, who's going to be in the rotation. I like them taking shots at edge. You still have Dorrance Armstrong, who's going to be coming back from injury. They also acquire some interior help with Tim Settle. I believe, Omenihu is a guy that can also kick inside. So I like that they address the defensive line. They don't stop there. They go out for Leo Chenal, which I think a fair question might be, is he just more of what they have in Frankie Louvu? I don't know. I guess we'll see. They bring in Nick Cross. There he is. He's gotten better last couple of years. Still not been great, but you're kind of banking on a young player getting better. Seems like he's on the upswing. It's only a 2-year, $14 million contract, so I think that's fine. Chigakonkwo, I love the move. Underrated. I mean, dude, you're telling me Cade Otton got 3 years, $30 million, and so did Chig? I'd rather have Okonkwo. I really do. Outside of that, they haven't done anything offensively. It is rumored that they're going to probably acquire oh my gosh, Brandon Ayuk. I feel like, didn't they? Oh yeah, I didn't even see him up here. Amik Robertson. I'm kind of curious to see what if he's playing the slot and they move We're still back outside, or is it going to be vice versa? I don't know. We'll see with that, but I think it's solid. I really do. I like them taking shots and spending money, and really outside of the Odafe Oweh trade or contract, I think all the other contracts are fine. I really do. They're all solid contracts. Like, I don't think there's one I'm really like, ugh, about, you know? Like this one is just like Odafe Oweh with what we saw for at the Chargers. Is it gonna be more of the same? Or is he gonna struggle against the run and be just this glorified overpaid DPR? I suppose we'll find out. So I like the moves that they made. I'd put that in. I think I'm gonna lean with A. I think more so I know what I can kind of see the vision of it compared to what the Jets did. But there are my thoughts on free agency. I know some of y'all are going to hate it in the comment section below. I'm fairly like the Seattle I'm so indifferent about. I could throw them down here and be okay with it, which I might. But I could probably actively say I look at these teams off season and I'm a little offended by it. They might have some moves here and there that I like,
but I don't love everything about it. Honestly, if you had A, B, or C, you're fine. I mean, C really is just teams that I'm like, just kind of feels like it's status quo. And I mean, for a team like the Bengals, it's like, well, we did get better. We added two good players. It's like, yeah, but golly, you should have done more. If you get Max Crosby, I mean, that probably shoots this offseason up. It's like up here in the A range, right? So I don't know, man. We'll find out. We'll see. I don't want to put actually the Bengals right here, but you go ahead. I'm gonna let Gojo in. You go ahead. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for the video. Go ahead, do that YouTube thing as always. Until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.